Today we have the coming candidate for the federal election in Canada to be a member of parliament for Nepean Brian St Louis. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
How is your rainy day today?
It could be worse. Could be snowing, so I'm not complaining.
Okay. Would you please introduce yourself to Air Canada News?
Yeah, so my name's Brian St Louis. I'm going to be running as your Conservative candidate in this election coming up on October 21st.
Okay, Brian, we see that you are still in a young age and you've gone through a lot in the government hell, and you have worked and put your fingerprints in many things. Would you please give a hint to the audience to know what you have done? Yeah,
absolutely. So I grew up in Barrhaven, not too far from where we're filming this actually, and went to John McCrae High School, which is just an old Barrhaven. I did my undergraduate in political studies and public administration, and then I started working in the Senate for a while as a research assistant, then a policy advisor. During that time, I started to get more and more involved in kind of federal politics, so I did co-run a campaign in the 2011 federal election. While working in the Senate, I was doing my graduate diploma part-time. That was in public policy and program evaluation.
So you were studying and doing this in the same time?
Yeah, while I was working in the Senate. So it was busy and it was challenging, but most things in life that are challenging generally reward you in the long run, hopefully. So after that, I moved into the working for the chairman of the International Trade Committee. I was doing that for about 2 years and decided I needed just a change of pace, and I spent 6 years in Toronto working in the mining and mineral development advanced materials sector. So I did that, and then we had my little girl, and decided it was time to come home and come back to Barrhaven, and now I'm here doing this.
So you decided back to be in Barrhaven?
Correct, yeah. It's a great place to raise a family. And
so, like as a member of Barrhaven, you was raised here over long years ago.
Correct,
and you decide to come back with your family to raise your daughter.
Exactly, exactly.
And as a member of parliament, Barrhaven, you are now a candidate for the member of parliament.
Correct,
the member to Nepean, to represent Nepean. What are the main goals that you want to achieve in this stage?
I mean, there's a lot of things you want to achieve. I think a lot of things are obviously on a national level I want to achieve ultimately, and that's the biggest thing I think our entire party is going to be running on, is helping families get ahead and helping make life more affordable, helping them be able to afford a home, be able to afford to put their kids through school, be able to afford to save, and be able to afford a life that is not always stressing them out with at the end of the month with money. And I think that's the number one core thing I really want to accomplish as a government, and that's the number one core thing I'm hearing at the doors right now. So
in your campaign, you have said that you want to present a fresh, loud, strong voice to Nepean. How do you see Nepean now? How is its voice?
It's I think in a lot of communities, political voice, frankly, is very similar, and a lot of people are tired of politics as usual, and I want to be a politician that tells people the truth, not necessarily just what they want to hear. I'll be very honest about what I can do and I can't do, and I think having the experience working in politics and also working with the political system from business, I have a pretty good grasp of how to get things done and what's real and what's not. So I'm, like many people, tired of politicians promising me everything and delivering nothing, and that's something I really want to change. And just a bit different style, I think, as well. I worked in politics for a while, and a lot of Canadians, I think, are frustrated with politics. Just some of the arrogance, the spin, the hyper-partisanship, and I think that's something I want to make a little bit of a difference in and control. I can control what I do and try to do a better job of representing everyone and understanding other sides of issues, and ultimately doing what's best for the entire community.
It's what do you call in your campaign to make people support you and encourage people to vote for you. You said that you will do things in improving the infrastructure of Nepean. You will do things to the daily child care here in Canada. What is the difference between what you want to do and what the other parties before?
Absolutely. Infrastructure is a huge issue here in Nepean. It's one of the ones I hear most commonly at the doors, to be frank, and we're not getting projects built. We had a government that promised we're going to run small deficits, little deficits, $10 million or $10 billion. He's blowing through all those projections. Our deficits have been substantially higher than what we were originally told, and the infrastructure is not getting built. So I think a lot of people, particularly in Nepean, a very, very fast-growing area, a very big tax base, but unfortunately we don't see major infrastructure getting built here. So something I want to do is make sure we're getting the funding coming in. I'm going to fight for some of the major infrastructure projects we need here in Nepean, such as the LRT. But I also want to help work across the community and bring people together and talk. You know, how you get things done in government is you get multiple people on the same page saying the same things repetitively, concisely, again and again and again. And what I want to do is bring leaders from around the community together, set priorities, make sure we're all talking from the same page, and that way we can get things done quicker than we would be able to otherwise.
Okay, and you know, like there are doubts from other people in Nepean and out Nepean for you to be, for example, a member of the Conservative Party. They say that these doubts talking about if the Conservative Party win the coming election, they will put more taxes to the middle class and cut the taxes from the wealthy people in the society. How do you reply for that?
Well, I mean, I think our record when we were in government previously, our record as a party is quite strong on cutting taxes. I think 80+% of middle-income families have had their income taxes go up under the Trudeau government. So I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors being played there, particularly in an area with Nepean where your average income is relatively high as a major, metropolitan center versus, a rural area. So I think we've already come out with some of our platform. A lot of the details are still to come, of course, but getting rid of the carbon tax, getting rid of the GST on home heating, home energy retrofits. We're going to get rid of the income tax on maternity benefits. These are all areas I think shows the theme by which we're bringing to the campaign, and that's to make life more affordable for everybody.
Okay, is your future efforts that you want to do will just stop the previous achievements that have done before by the other representative of Nepean, or you feel that it's all wrong and you will do something new, or you are gonna finish it?
I guess what achievement would we be talking about?
For example, they say that they have a good fingerprints in the pension for seniors and plans for the child payment.
So I mean, let's start with the child benefit. Interestingly, it was actually a Conservative government that came out with that, and at the time, some member of parliaments that are still sitting as Liberal members of parliament said, "Oh, parents are going to spend this all on beer and popcorn." They said, "Oh, this is an election gimmick." So these are all quotes. I mean, you can look these up. So that was the ideology they had when we came out with the child benefit originally and giving money back to parents to help make their lives more affordable. The Liberals have tinkered with it a bit, depending on the family in Nepean. Some ended up ahead, some ended up behind, depending on some of their other tax credits that were canceled. Ultimately, we are going to maintain that the child benefit as it is. And ultimately, I think I meet a lot of seniors ultimately on the campaign, and their biggest issue is increased cost of living due to the fact they're on a fixed income. So we see the carbon tax hurting them. We're going to get rid of that, and ultimately that'll help keep down the price of gas, keep down the price of groceries, and make their life more affordable because people are feeling strained, and that's something we want to help people get ahead. So.
As you said, that people feeling strange, strange. People here in Nepean consists a mosaic of ethnic communities here, and to somehow the Conservative Party could have, a policy, special policy in, accepting the communities here in Canada. Do you think that you are gonna make a difference or a bridge for communication and trust between these communities and your party? Absolutely.
I mean, my job as a member of parliament is to reach out to every single person in this community, whether they're Liberal, whether they're Conservative, whether they're first-generation Canadian, whether they're fifth-generation Canadian. And the approach I will bring to this job is to reach across to everybody and treat everyone equally, treat everyone, hear their issues, and do whatever I can to make their life easier and to represent them in Parliament ultimately.
So now, would you please give us a message for your supporters to encourage them to vote for you in the coming election? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we've been very clear. I think we're a party. I think a lot of people are looking for change right now. They see what we're getting from the federal Liberal government, and they're not particularly happy. A lot of the big substance thing isn't there. We see out-of-control deficits. Our foreign relations are plummeting in a lot of areas. Our trade is not doing well. Our foreign direct investment's not doing well. And we're going to be a government that's going to be focused on, doing what's best for all Canadians and ultimately getting those big things right. We're going to have a very detailed policy platform coming out. We're going to be very clear on our plan for Canadians. Our fiscal plan is going to be costed by the Parliamentary Budget Officer, so completely independent. And we're going to tell Canadians what we want to do and where we're going to change things. And ultimately, it will be up to them to decide. But I'm very confident that you know, they're going to see our plan is focused on helping them get ahead, and that'll be something that'll attract them to our party.
Okay, thank you so much. That's been an honor for me to meet you. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. My pleasure.